What's up, everyone? This is Black-Haired Shanks here, and we're in for another One Piece discussion video. I think this isn't my first one. Anyway, today we're going to discuss a theory that is kind of one of those hot topics in the One Piece community, and that is the ancient weapons. Yeah, we're just going to talk about the ancient weapons, and I'm going to kind of give my own little brief theories on what they could be. So let's jump right into it. So, 3 ancient weapons. What are they? From what little information in One Piece that we know, they are apparently 3 weapons from the Void Century. The world government, they don't want anyone knowing about them because apparently their destructive capabilities are so vast that they could basically lay waste to the entire world. Think of almost kind of like a nuclear war situation, I guess, is where we could go with these weapons. All 3 weapons are named after 3 Roman era gods. You have Pluton, which was named after Pluto, the god of the underworld. You have Poseidon, which was named after the god of the oceans. And then Uranus, which is the god of the sky. And I think that we can maybe use these names as a type of clue to maybe kind of figure out some things about them. So let's start off with Pluton. What do we know about Pluton? Well, the first time we ever heard about Pluton was in the Alabasta arc. Nico Robin found the poneglyph. Crocodile was trying to get her to find out about Pluton. She lied about it. The poneglyph in Alabasta actually had some information about the location of Pluton. We don't hear about it again until we get to Water 7 and we find out more about Pluton. Apparently Pluton is a weapon that was built. It was built by the shipwrights of Water 7, and apparently, just in case if it was ever to fall into the wrong hands or something like that, they always kept the blueprints in order to make another Pluton to be able to battle it. Well, Franky had the blueprint. The whole ordeal with CP9 took place, and by the end of it, Franky supposedly burnt those blueprints. My personal theory of what Pluton is, I think it is, or it will be, the Thousand Sunny. I don't believe Franky got rid of those blueprints unless he maybe somehow stored them in his old noggin. Franky is very smart, he's very capable, and I just truly believe he has incorporated those blueprints into the Sunny, or he will. You know, he did tell Luffy before they headed off for Wano Country, he told him, he's like, hey, don't you worry about the Sunny, we'll reinforce it, we'll make that ship even better. And I just see the Sunny ending up to be Pluton. And this will also play into another little theory that I'll get into at the end of the video. Second is Poseidon. Now Poseidon, we actually know what it is and who it is. That's right. Not all the weapons are inanimate objects. We first heard about Poseidon in Skypiea. Again, Nico Robin read about this weapon on a poneglyph. Now what's interesting is much later on down the line when we get to Fishman Island, we come to find out Poseidon was a mermaid princess and she had the ability to control the Sea Kings. The Sea Kings being these gigantic sea monsters that roam the oceans. We've seen them time and time again, very powerful creatures, scare a lot of people in the One Piece world. And we come to find out Shirahoshi, the current mermaid princess of Fishman Island, is Poseidon. She even displays her ability to control the Sea Kings during the fight with Hody Jones, whatever the heck you want to call him. And yeah, so we know about her. Now, what her position in the story will be is going to be interesting. I often like to imagine certain scenarios, but I have a feeling, I have one scenario, and you know what, I'll save it for another video about my theory about the ending of One Piece. That should be interesting. Now thirdly, and this is the one that gets my brain rattling, Uranus. Now Uranus, the god of the skies, you're thinking, okay, maybe it's something to do with maybe the Skypieans, or the Bilkins. You see where I'm going with this, right? Skypieans, Bilkins. We learned about the origins of the Bilkins. They came from the moon. Yeah, I'm sticking on this freaking theory. I'm telling you right now, I would almost guarantee it, Uranus has something to do with the moon, or it's on the moon. And I think the Straw Hats are going to have to go to the moon. Listen, we had this interesting story arc, or cover arc. We had this interesting cover arc where Inaru traveled to the moon. He called it the Endless Varth. And when he gets there, he meets these strange little automatas. These little robots came from the Blue Sea, and they actually were built on a certain island. An island that Frankie went to during the 2-year time skip. Interesting. Frankie's tied to another ancient weapon. Anyway, while we're there, a little kind of backstory as to why I think it is possible for characters to go to the moon. He comes in contact with a space pirate who, when I go back now, looks like a mink, even using electric powers in his spears, which the minks, they have the electric ability. Anyway, he's there. He sees ancient writings of the Bilkins and the origins of his ancestors, and then he even has this little race of automatas kind of treating him like the god he always thought he was. I just believe this will tie into Uranus somehow, some way. I don't know how, I don't know when or anything like that. I just believe it. I've believed it ever since. It was always in the back of my mind when I first saw the Inaru story arc. I thought there was more to it. But a lot of my friends, they told me, they're like, nah, I think it's just one of those goofy little cover stories that happens from time to time. And then popular YouTubers like Roger's Base and a few others actually started talking about this theory. And it makes me feel better because I feel a little less crazy. So yeah, Pluton, I think, is the sunny. Uranus, I believe, has something to do with the moon. And of course, we know Shirahoshi is Poseidon. Now, how are they going to play out in the story? I think they have something to do with the overall balance of power in One Piece. We know that there is a 3-way balance of power. The world government, the warlords, and then of course the emperors. Now, how this is going to go, I don't know, but I'm thinking that each one of these powers are going to get one of the 3 ancient weapons. Now, as I said, I believe that the sunny is Pluton, so I think Luffy, representing pirates, who will also be the warlords. I believe the warlords are going to get disbanded. The world government's going to turn their back on them after Fujitora brings up his plea at the Reverie. And I see Luffy teaming up with some of these, including Hawkeye, maybe at some point. And I think that Pluton, being the representative of the pirates, of course, is going to be this Sunny, and Sunny's going to be leading a charge. We know that there's going to be a war coming soon, and I really see Luffy leading an incredible fleet against the world government. Now this leaves Poseidon and Uranus. Now this is where things are going to get a little wonky. Again, I think Uranus, it has something to do with Inaru and the moon and stuff like that. And how the world government would get it, I don't know. That would be interesting. We'll just have to kind of wait down the line to see if any of these theories are true. They may not even come true. This is just how I think. But I do think the world government will get one of the weapons at some point, and I think it will be Uranus. It's the most mysterious out of the 3 so far, and you never know. Finally, Poseidon. I think Poseidon is going to go to the emperors, respectively Kaido and Big Mom. The reason I say this, we know that they've had a history. We know that there's this history of this pirate group, the Rocks Pirates, and the world government, I think, are terrified of the Rocks Pirates. What I believe is the Rocks Pirates are going to band back together, and I have a feeling Kaido and Big Mom will be sailing on the same ship, or at least within the same fleet of ships again. We know that things are about to go wonky in Wano Country. We know that Caribou is there. We know Caribou has the information that Shirahoshi is Poseidon, and I believe he's going to spill the beans to Kaido or one of Kaido's men, and he will learn of Poseidon. And I could see them capturing her, maybe allying themselves with her, but I don't think that. I think it will be capturing her and using her abilities to control the Sea Kings to start wrecking some havoc. I think the Rocks Pirates, they're going to be back, and they're going to be back in full stride. But yeah, that's pretty much my theory. I would love to hear what everyone else's theories are. I love talking about One Piece. I love getting back-to-backs. You know, if you have any more information that maybe I don't know, I know that in Japan they have data books and log books and this, that, and the other, and there may be a bit of information I'm missing, but I would love to know. I would love to know your theories, and yeah, what do you think? Ancient weapons, locations, powers, you know, I'm excited to talk about it, and I'm excited to see how it is all going to play out in the end. But that's my One Piece discussion for this week. We had no chapter this week, but it's okay. Chapter will be back next week. I'm excited to see how Wano Country is going to continue to play out. Look for another video coming up soon. I'm thinking about maybe doing a review. I played the first Attack on Titan. I know the sequel came out just a little while ago. I'm slow to Attack on Titan. I just recently got into it. But I'm thinking about doing a review of the PlayStation 4 Attack on Titan game. Let me know if you'd like to see my thoughts and opinions on it. And I'll probably play the second one at some point too. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a like, subscribe, comment, share it. Do anything you want. If you want to watch this video and do yoga. If you want to watch this video and play a saxophone while eating Cheetos, do it. It's fine. I'll see you guys next time. Yo!